Video walkthrough on a Heartland Mallard. Now normally I start these videos by telling you are pre-wired for a backup camera, but it looks like you folks choose to got backup camera, and I tell you what, that's a big help having that. It's always on when you have it plugged into your truck, so you can see what's behind you. You know, some people like to tailgate behind these because your big brakes block the wind, try to save gas. That's good, and it's also really good for backing in, really helps backing in. Bumper caps come off. That's gonna be the perfect spot to store your sewer hose. That's what it's meant for, is to be storing your sewer hose. Side seals, every once in a while, you're gonna want to inspect them to make sure they're not dry or cracked or anything like that. If you every once in a while, I recommend taking it in and having us perform what's called a slide out maintenance, and we do some seal conditioner on these seals, or you can buy the materials to do that yourself. Recommend doing that once a year. Come over here, you got your main dump area with your blacks and your gray. Definitely recommend making sure those valves are closed all the way before you take your cap off. And then the one on your left is your gray tank, the one on your right is your black tank. Your gray tank is your shower and your sink water, and then your black tank is your toilet water. And then I always do my black tank first, let that get dumped. Then I dump the gray tank, that way it'll flush out my hose. That way when I pick it up to move the hose, it's not dripping with black tank water. Show cord, it's your show cord. It's 30 amp show cord. Twist to lock and then tighten this. It's about 20, 25, 30 feet long-ish. Do an outdoor shower, hot and cold out here. Cable inlet, so if you're going somewhere that provides cable, you can hook it up through here. City water, you can put your hose up to there and you'll be able to run off of city water pressure. Right below that, a black tank flush. Don't confuse these two. Black tank flush is going to allow you to, when you're dumping your black tank, there is a little nozzle in there. So when you have your hose hooked up to it, turn your hose on, it'll flush out the black tank, keep it clear of any water and whatnot. Not water, but it'll clean it out with the water. Rinse the walls of the tank off, keep the sensors clean, keep it from smelling. Water heater, super simple to use. Only thing you'll have to do is put your plug into here. Get it started by hand, and then 15/16 is the socket size. I use a little short socket, the ratcheting with an extension, and then a ratcheting wrench to tighten it. Don't over tighten it, it is plastic. Once it's in, as soon as you hook up water, whether it be from your fresh tank via your pump or your city water, to start filling up, you're good to turn it on. Definitely recommend draining it after every trip. You don't want it sitting half full of water for days or even weeks on end, because it'll start to get stagnant and smelly. So before you pull your plug out to drain it, shut off any sources of water. Open up your pressure relief. It's this. Water's going to squirt out, that's fine. Once it stops squirting out, snap it closed, then you can take your plug out. If you neglect to do this first, all that pressure that you relieved here is actually going to come out there. And it's going to shoot the cap out, you're going to get water all over you, and if you've been running it, it's going to be hot water, it's going to be no fun. You'll do it once and you'll probably never do it again if you forget. And then clean in here 4 times a year. Any major cleaning and checking, I recommend doing it every changing of the season, 4 times a year. Here, good information, has your VIN on it, model number, tire pressure, that's the most important. Go off of what that says, 65 psi, not what's printed on the tires. And you have tire size, cargo carrying capacity, weight of it with water in it. So that's a lot of good information. Pass-through storage here, you got a light switch and then a light there. The light in there is just going to turn the lights on in the cabinet. The switch turns these LEDs on right here. Group 24 RV marine grade battery. Recommend taking it out in the winter, storing it somewhere warmer in the summer. Not in the summer, sorry. Storing it somewhere warmer in the winter, because the winter is pretty harsh on these batteries. And if it's going to be a long time between trips, I recommend disconnecting your battery like this. It's going to disconnect the battery from everything. However, you have to have this connected, so this way. You can even see where it's green like that, where it says on, for most everything inside to work. Definitely recommend having that on when you travel. That's what's gonna, it's right off your battery. So if this is off, your trailer brakes aren't gonna work. Then you do have 7-way. This is gonna allow your trailer lights to work. Oh, Speaking of trailer lights, that backup camera that you guys had installed only works when it uses power from the marker lights. So the running lights, need to be on your tow vehicle. Go. Dual 20-pound cylinders. You don't have to worry about getting them filled. Which way this regulator is pointing to, it's going to pull from that one first. Just make sure they're off. When this one were to get emptied, and if this one were to be on, this will automatically switch to pulling from this tank. However, this doesn't rotate to indicate it has switched what tanks, so it'll still be pointing this way. So keep that in the back of your mind. And you don't have to take this cover off every time. You can get to it by popping it up there. Got a smart jack with a light. It's not a smart jack. Yeah, it's a smart jack. And I tell you what, having a jack like this beats hand cranking it every day of the week. Especially one with a nice big pad on that. It's real sturdy sitting on the tongue jack. Other side of that storage, one of these is going to be a manual backup crank for that tongue jack. This one right here. The other one is a manual backup for your stabilizers. So these are your controls for your stabilizers. The top one should be your front ones. Now these are stabilizing jacks. They are not leveling jacks. Do not try to pick up the weight of the trailer with these. They're just meant to stabilize the camper so it's not rocky and shaky when you're walking around in it. If you want your trailer to be level, use your tongue jack to raise and lower the front of the camper to get it level front to back. If you want it side to side, as you're backing into your site, backing in under some blocks to get it level side to side. Like I said, these aren't meant to support the weight of the camper. So if you try picking it up, you more than likely are going to trip. There's a self-resetting breaker that you'll trip, and then you have to wait a few seconds for it to reset. But if for any reason that breaker were to fail and not reset like it's supposed to, or not trip like it's supposed to, you could amp out the motor on this. You could bend the jacks because of all that weight. So just keep in mind, stabilizers, not levelers. And then you do have a spot for a backup crank. That's going to be this one right here. Actually, both these cranks can go right up in here. Up and out of the way. And this is the manual for your smart jack. So I must have installed that for you. Usually these don't come with those, but tell you what, having an electronic jack like that beats hand cranking it every single day of the week. Exhaust for your fridge, just keep it clean in here. Same as your furnace, clean in here quite often. They do make a screen for this. They don't recommend you running with the screen on, but I've seen people do it. I'm just going to keep debris from in there, insects from building nests in there. Then you have this is your exterior range vent, so if you're running your fan on your range hood, you want to make sure that's open so it's actually venting somewhere. But when you travel and overnight, I close it. Traveling so it doesn't flap around overnight, so there's no insects that make their way in there. Outdoor power is GFCI protected. All your GFCIs are on the same circuit. If one's going to trip, they're all going to trip. And you have a freshwater fill. This is where you're going to fill your onboard fresh tank. You need to use your pump to pull from your fresh tank, and then don't wait till you hear water squirt out everywhere to know to stop filling it. Wait till you see it says full on the monitoring panel, then come out and stop. And then just like your water heater, definitely recommend draining it after every trip. So it doesn't hold water to drain it, you just open that drain right there. Alright, that concludes our exterior tour. We'll work our way onto the inside. Got some controls. Switch on the right does lights. These ones do your interior lights. One on the left does those ones. One on the right, I believe, does the porch light over there. Yep, you can kind of see it. That does the porch light. Then over here you have your controls for your slide outs and your awning. Oh, yep, and your awning. Yep. Your awning does not automatically open, or not. It doesn't automatically stop when you're opening it. That's something you have to visually look at and let go of the switch to stop it. But when you see, we can't open all the way because of the wall, but when you see that bare gray tube and there'll be a flap that kind of flaps down, you're all the way open. It is adjustable. Grab these, push these pins in, and you grab it, push and pull. There's instructions right there. So you can pitch the corner so water runs off to the corner rather than all the way along the edge. You can do it both sides so it pitches it down if the sun's in your eyes. Just make sure you would turn them both. Doesn't matter which position that they're in, as long as both arms are in the same position. Definitely don't recommend leaving it out in heavy wind, heavy rain. A little bit of rain is good, but when it starts getting heavy, you want to roll it back up. If you roll it in wet, as soon as you get the chance to, roll it back out, let it dry off, because you don't want it to be holding moisture. And the Gfci Outlet here. This will be the screen for your camera. 2 recliners here. This one will have to be in this position when you close your slide out. There are straps for them. They don't need to be strapped down. They're not going to go anywhere when you travel, but there are straps for them. And there's a piece of linoleum from the factory underneath here that we leave here. So the chairs don't scratch the floor when you move them around and shuffle them. Put over here light switches for the slide out. One on the left is that one over there. One on the right does the LEDs and that. This turns into a bed. Difficult to show while filming, but I'll do my best. You undo these cushions. Grab up underneath here. Pull up. There'll be legs underneath there. You pull up. It'll pull up and then out like that. Kind of like an upside down V. And then it'll lay flat. Legs unfold. Rest on the floor. Then you fold this down, and that fills in the gap. This table here turns into a bed. You just literally fold the legs up. There's the spot to fold the legs up. Then it rests up here. And you take the back cushions to lay down there and create a platform to sleep on. When you turn the interior lights on, it will turn just that one light right there on. You have to go through and manually turn all the other ones off as you go. Spot for a TV, as well as deposit cables for a DVD player, and then you have your pre-wired. It doesn't actually have it on the roof yet for the Winegard Wi-Fi extender. And then you run your cables for your TV here. If you're going to use cable like that, if you're going to use your antenna, have it like that, and then you have power for a TV. Radio is super simple. Hit the power button. You have different zones. Zone 1 is inside, so you can turn the inside speakers off, just have the outdoor ones off, or have the outdoor ones off and just have the indoor ones on. Or you can have them both on, both off, doesn't matter. Right here, presets, push and hold to save a preset, pause, play, stop, rewind, / previous channel, fast forward / next channel, Bluetooth, mode selection, so you can do auxiliary. You also do have an mode or your DVD, you let that select to your DVD. Standard definition DVD player, so turn your TV to the AV channel. And then headphone jack, USB. It doesn't interface, it's just for charging your phone. And like I said, you do Bluetooth it. You can look for Furrion DV3100 and pair your phone to it. A lot of times it'll ask for a pin. It'll either be all ones, all zeros, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Then right below that, you have your built-in vacuum. So you can turn it on off here. There is hoses in here. It should be. And one underneath the bed usually is where they put them. And then it's a bag, so you grab in here, pull this open. You have the bag. So you can buy more bags when that one fills up. Come over here. Oops. That's not where they put them. They must have put them somewhere different. Blue bag has all your manuals in it, as well as your remote for your radio. I will put that with your radio. But that'll allow you control your radio from not having to get up. It'll also act as your remote for the DVD player portion of it. And then that has your manuals and whatnot in it. Microwave works like a standard microwave, only going to work when you're plugged in. Light here, and then the fan. If you're going to run the fan, make sure that you have that flap on the outside open. Cooktop, super simple, fold up and back. Turn that to the flame, twist it to light it. Gas is off so it won't light. Good to go. Oven works a little bit differently. Turn that to the flame, push and hold as you're holding that flame. You want to twist the sparker as you're twisting that. What you're looking for, let's get the light out in here, is that pilot right there to get lit. Once it's lit, you can stop holding this in and then turn it to your desired temperature. then you'll be good to go. Now, if you know you want to cook again in a few hours and you don't have to go through the process of relighting your pilot again, when you turn your oven off, if you turn it to the flame, it shuts the burners off, but it leaves that pilot on. Definitely don't recommend leaving your camper unattended with that pilot lit, and I definitely don't recommend going to bed with that pilot lit, because that's an open flame that you're leaving unattended. So don't leave it lit when you're not able to keep an eye out on it. And then you have a switch here for the lights. Fridge, super simple. Open the freezer drawer, you have your controls. You have on or off, auto or gas. Auto is going to default to 110, that's what it wants to use, that's what I recommend is leaving it on. If someone would trip over your short cord, can't go on or lose power or whatnot, it'll automatically switch to running off of propane if your propane were to be on. If it wouldn't be, your check light would come on, or it could also be propane's on, but the gas hasn't reached the fridge yet. Unlike your normal fridge at home, these two take about 8 to 10 hours to get to operating temperature. Even more if it's super hot outside. So keep that in mind. If you have the ability to, plug it in the night before, let it get cold at home. Got your thermostat right here for your AC. Tap it to cycle through your things. First thing it'll ask is your fan mode, auto, high, or low. Auto is going to allow it to cycle on and off at your set temperature. High and low is going to allow it just to continuously run. I just recommend leaving on auto. It's going to prevent it from continuously running and freezing up and having to wait for it to thaw out before you could use it again. Tap mode again, AC. AC goes to 55. Tap mode again, furnace goes to 90. And my last little tidbit advice about these is they can be a little finicky. Sometimes if you hit up and down at the same time, it switches it to Celsius. So just hit up and down at the same time, you go back to Fahrenheit. Then you need to have your monitoring panel, battery, fresh, black, and gray. Then you can read water heater on propane, water pump, and an electric water heater. You can run electric and propane at once. If you are going to run electric, make sure you do have water in it. Bathroom, super simple. Got your light switch here. And then this for your fan. Pull this to move it. Turn the fan on right there. This is your resettable GFCI. This is the GFCI you will hit the reset button on if any of them were to trip. And then you do have a toilet. Super simple as long as you're pushing this button here. This pedal right here is going to keep flushing. And then your shower. Removable shower head. You know, the hard to reach spaces. And then hot and cold. Then I give you a little sunlight. There's also a cutout if you're taller. You can actually stand up in these. Some of them, they don't give you that, and it's really hard to stand up in. Come into the bedroom. Light switch for the bedroom is over here. Oh, the lights are off here. There you go. You can turn on off here. Access to the bedroom from the outside. Do have an outlet over there as well as one over here. 2 clicking lights right above the bed. Spot on another TV back here as well as a coax and regular outlet out here. Plenty of storage. Right here, your breaker box. All your fuses for your 12-volt appliances and all your breakers for your 120-volt appliances. Definitely recommend carrying, this is all 15s and 240s. So I definitely recommend carrying some spares of each type just in case something were to happen. And then you do have storage under your bed. That's the hose kit for the built-in vacuum. You do have a carbon monoxide alarm right there. Those take the standard 9-volt batteries. If that starts giving you the low voltage chirps, change the batteries. Bedroom door. When you travel, make sure you travel with it locked like this so it's not banging against this as you make turns. Smoke alarm right up there. Again, 9-volt batteries. If it starts giving you those chirps, throw on a new 9-volt in it. And then this one down here, that's a propane gas alarm. That's hardwired to the 12-volt system, so there's no batteries on this one you have to worry about changing. Alright, well that concludes our virtual tour of your Heartland Mallard. I really do like this Mallard, so you guys, well, not you guys should, but you guys should like it. You guys should get, I hope you guys get really good use out of it. Use it often. It's a real nice trailer. Hope you guys found this video informative, and goodbye.